From in Hollywood, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing whacker or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our telephone number. You're gonna need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And I must tell you, the weather in Southern California has been ridiculously good the last 4 days. So to be honest with you, I have been spending my days before the show, when possible, just sitting out in the sun. I mean, sitting out in the sun. Fantastic. So, hope you've enjoyed it. If you live in SoCal, if you don't, well, don't move here now. There's no room. There's no land left to build. Please don't come. Thank you. Well, here is another one of these stories from the lunatic fringe, and I mean the lunatic fringe. This coming from the website of a television station in Central Florida, Channel 13. And it goes like this. He has been seen on grilled cheese sandwiches, in windows and in clouds, and now Jesus has been seen. You know he's been seen now? On a pancake. I'm not kidding. Jesus has now been seen on a pancake. Can you believe that? Oh, yes. There's actually a photo of the pancake that accompanies this story, by the way. Fantastic. Jesus on a pancake. By the way, I'm looking at the picture. That doesn't look like what we pictured Jesus to look like. How do they know it was Jesus? I don't know. Says here, Marilyn Smith was making a pancake a couple of weeks ago, and she was sprinkling it with chocolate powder. We can only imagine what kind of fat and fugly that might be. As she was sprinkling her pancake with chocolate powder, the Port St. Lucie, Florida woman noticed two figures in the grill marks. To her and her daughter, they appeared to be Jesus and Mary. So after holding on to it for a few days, they decided to put it up for auction on eBay. By the way, can I ask a question here? If you are so religious, if you really believe stuff like this, why would you be selling the stuff on eBay? Pancake or grilled cheese sandwich with the image of Jesus or the Virgin Mary. Why would you be selling it? You should be down on your goddamn knees, for Christ's sake. The opening bid was $35. But when the auction ended just before midnight, the winning bid for the pancake with the images of Jesus and Mary on it, $338. So I don't know who's crazier. The people who made the pancake and claimed to see the images of Jesus and Mary, or the person who paid $338 to see the pancake with the image of Jesus and Mary. All I'm going to say is, once again, this proves how mental illness and religion really do go hand in hand. They really have a lot in common. The fact that people believe this stuff, the fact that people buy into this stuff, it's remarkable. And you would have to be a real moron to believe it. Now, I'm making the Jesus and Mary pancake larger. Does that look like people to you, Gary, much less Jesus and Mary? I mean, there could easily be two eyes and a nose there. It looks like Pac-Man. I mean, it could look like anything. I guess it depends on what mental illness you have. I guess it'd be like a Rorschach test. Look it up. It's like a Rorschach test. You look at that, and what do you see here? Oh, the Jesus and Mary pancake. There it is. Now, God bless America, and I'm an atheist saying it, so please see the irony in what I just said. You know, we have freedom to believe any lunatic idea you believe. Any lunatic idea. I don't care what kind of freak you are. I don't care what kind of psychotic nutcase you might be. You have a right to believe in that stuff. You do. Of course, some people get the mistaken idea that people's religions are not up for criticism. Their religious beliefs are not up for attack. They're not up for any negativity. You're just supposed to shut up and let people believe what they believe. Look, that's a legal term, okay? The idea of freedom of religion. You are free to believe what you want to believe, but we also have freedom of speech. And for me, religion is a chosen lifestyle. This is not like being born black or white or Asian or what have you. This is something you have chosen, even if it's because your parents shoved it down your throat and you didn't resist. It's a choice you made. And so, therefore, it's open to criticism. And I think people who believe in stuff like Jesus and Mary on the sides of buildings, oil tankers, water towers, grilled cheese sandwiches, pancakes, potato chips, and other food items, I think you people are just plain sick, and you really need help. I mean, you really need to go see a therapist. You're a bunch of loons, all of you. It just has to be said. And it's politically incorrect to say it, but I don't give a rat's ass. I'm an atheist, and I think you people are nutcases. All of you. 100% of you. All of you say you've had out-of-body experiences. All of you say you died and went to heaven and then came back 2 seconds later. You're all nuts, okay? These are your own little psychoses coming out. And I don't mind saying it. I don't give a rat's ass. I'll say it again. You're a bunch of freaks. And I just love the way the TV stations dutifully go out with a camera. Every time some whack job says they've seen Jesus in a puddle or Mary in an oil spill or whatever, and they go out with a camera and they videotape the hundreds of morons who show up from miles around to get down on their knees and pray to the puddle or the grilled cheese sandwich or whatever. I mean, you're a bunch of loons, and the news media, for covering this, you're a bunch of bigger loons. Okay? It just had to be said. There's nothing unreasonable about nothing unreasonable about what I said. Nothing is there.
1-800-5800-TOM. One thing I can recommend for any of our listeners getting married, take a good long look at your balls. Because if the woman has her way, you'll never see them again.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show, the story from Central Florida. Yes. The image of Jesus and Mary is reportedly seen on a pancake. It was sold on eBay for $338. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Annie, hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Great.
I think, you do such a great job. You give everybody great advice 90% of the time. But today, I've got to say, for a multimillionaire, reach into your wallet and look at the bill. Bottom of the bill. Who are we trusting in?
By the way, dear, I did not subscribe to that and do not. And that does not exclude me from using money.
Okay, good enough. Fair enough. Let me ask you this. You realize that you're a proponent of laws, law-abiding guy most of the time, right? Okay. I'm a lawyer. Let me tell you, all of our laws are based on what? Judeo-Christian culture.
That is hardly true. That is hardly true. And by the way, if you're going to tell me the founding of our country was based on Judeo-Christian principles, I imagine you believe that. Great. Let's talk about some of those principles. And I'm glad you said that, Judeo-Christian principles. So some of the original principles of our country include genocide. How many hundreds of thousands of Native Americans did we kill to take this place over?
Well, and you're right there. That's a moral and
is that a Judeo-Christian principle?
Issue.
Oh, you said we were founded on Judeo-Christian principles. After we killed the Indians, okay, then we went on and we brought some slaves over here. We had slavery. Is that a Judeo-Christian principle?
All right, my friend, but you segued. Now
that's a yes. That's a yes or a no. You started talking about Judeo-Christian principles, so now we're gonna talk about them.
Okay.
As a lawyer, when someone's on the witness stand, there are certain things you can't bring up until the door is open. You open the door, and so now we're going to talk about Judeo-Christian principles. Was slavery a Judeo-Christian principle?
No, of course it isn't.
No. Okay. And as a woman, I'm wondering if you find the fact that women were not allowed to vote. Is that a Judeo-Christian principle, sexism?
Well, of course not.
No. Okay. Let's go down the list. In addition...
But we changed those laws, Tom.
Darling, you said the country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles.
And everything is going to evolve over time, but what you're trying to tell me is that God should be out, right? You're an atheist.
This has nothing to do with God being out. This has to do with some nutcases thinking they saw the image of Jesus and the Virgin Mary in a pancake.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for that.
These are your people, dear.
Well, no, they're not mine.
They're your people. The people who see Jesus in a grilled cheese sandwich or a potato chip. We've heard these stories, by the way. I'm not making these up. Jesus on the side of a water tower. Jesus on the side of a house where a guy was treating his house for ants.
Okay. Well, you're making...
These are your people.
Okay. I'm going to say that every time you cash a check and get money back...
Don't go back to that because, darling, In God We Trust was not on our money, if you know anything about this, until when?
Well, I don't know the year, but I do know
what century was it?
1800s.
No, the 20th century. In fact, it was during the McCarthy era.
Okay.
So until the 1950s, our money did not say In God We Trust on it, did it?
It may not have said that, but I can...
It didn't say anything of the kind.
Our laws were all formulated on Judeo-Christian concepts.
Is that so?
And some of them are outdated, Tom. Fair enough. I'm not saying that they're all well thought out or even that they're
It's
smart.
not even true. I mean, most of the people who founded this country were not Christian or Jewish. They were deists.
Okay. You've got to explain that to me.
Why don't you look it up, dear? You're an attorney.
But I don't understand what you mean by that.
What do you mean you don't understand what I mean by that? They were not Jewish or Christian.
They were people who
How many Jews? Name the Jews who founded our country. Why are you talking about Judeo-Christian principles? Who were the Jews? Benjamin Frankenstein? Thomas Jefferson? Who are they? Who are all the Jews? Who were they? Which Jews were they?
You've got me there.
Right. So now we're down to Christians. And by the way, we did an awful lot of things that you've already said yourself were not Christian.
Absolutely not. Right.
This country was founded on commerce. We came over, we killed the Indians, we started building up commerce here and sending products back to Europe and other continents. This country was founded on commerce, genocide, slavery, and discrimination against women and blacks. By the way, God made black people. Did he intend for them to be 3/5 human?
No, and thank you for pointing out.
Well, that's another one of the Judeo-Christian principles this country was founded on.
You know, those are great thoughts because, of course, we've had to evolve, but it doesn't mean that you throw
Donna,
out...
you said the country. Then you will have to concede right now. I don't care about the laws being changed. You said this country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles, but it wasn't, was it?
It was founded on it, yes, Tom.
Yeah, but I just named a whole bunch of principles that you said were not Judeo-Christian principles.
And they're horrible aberrations of any principles at all.
What exact Judeo-Christian principles are you talking about? Killing hundreds of thousands of people, denying equal rights to women and blacks. Which Judeo-Christian principles are you talking about?
Democracy. Let's talk
Slavery.
about that.
Democracy has nothing to do with Christianity. Are you kidding? Some of the countries where Catholicism is the strongest have dictatorships. I mean, in Spain, all the jokes have been told about Generalissimo Francisco Franco. When he was the Generalissimo, the Pope was visiting Spain, and that was a very Catholic country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and Catholicism has been the religion of many countries that are dictatorships, not democracies.
You're right. You know what? I'm glad you're not in court because you'd kick my ass.
That's right. You're damn straight. Thank you.
Thanks.
She took a whirl. She collapsed like a house of cards. Oh, yeah. Hell, Hitler was a Christian, okay? Please. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Matt on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Doing okay.
Hey, I just want to tell you, I'm going to go to the store and buy some Bisquick and make $300 a pancake. I'm going to sell to that fruitcake that just called in.
Yes.
All right, Tom, can you take me out porno style?
Here you go. All right, 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Ken on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Not much.
Hey, I just wanted to say or ask that last caller you had on that lady if she's the one that bought that pancake off of eBay. And, yeah, so you don't really need to have religion to spend money either. So, glad you put her in her place.
Somebody had to do it.
And you were the best man to do it.
Thank you for that.
And, yeah, so I just calling to agree 100% on everything that you said this morning about the religious, basically freaks and how they go overboard and everything.
They are freaks.
Yeah.
These people would be, for believing anything else as insane, they would be bonded over to the mental hospital as psychotic.
They all should be anyways. Just load them up in a bus.
That's right.
So, yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know, you got my vote for president.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Matt on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yeah, I had an argument against that lady. I mean, I am religious, but our laws aren't founded necessarily just on religious principles. They're founded on a social contract. I mean, we don't go around killing people because if we did that, society would collapse. We'd have no civilization if I could just walk up to anybody on the street and just kill them. I mean, or just steal their stuff or rape their women or whatever. I mean, they're founded because that's what a civilized society does, not because we feel like, oh, God's watching.
And I would believe that there are many laws that Jews or Christians might disagree with.
Oh, I'm sure that there are. And the other half of it is I get mad about when people go, oh, we do laws because that's what Christians believe. So I'm like, okay, so you're telling me if the Pope came up tomorrow and told you, oh, you know what, I got this vision from God now, it's all right for you to kill and rape. Would you do it? I mean, do you only do things that are the right thing to do because you believe you're going to get into heaven? Or do you do things that are the right thing to do because they're the right thing to do? You know, it's not, I mean, you shouldn't be, I am religious, but I'm not going to do things that I feel wrong about.
I think many people who say they are religious are actually just doing it because they're afraid to say they're not.
Right, exactly. I mean, I meet so many people like that. I mean, they're hypocrites, really. I mean, I believe that's a lot of why people, like, don't have any faith is because they see all these people who claim to be so religious and yet they just, you know, I mean, they take advantage of people. I mean, you look at all those televangelists on the TV. I mean, the people who are watching them are mostly poor, uneducated people, and they're wanting to take all their money so they can go and live in a mansion. How many of those televangelists are living in poverty, you know? I mean, they're all living in their big old mansions with, like, their mistresses, even when they're married.
Right.
So, I mean, it kind of gives religious people a bad name. I mean, you know, it just makes me mad, Tom.
I completely understand. Eric on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hi.
I just wanted to point out that I wholeheartedly agree with you on the whole religion as a mental disorder thing. I just want to know why nothing's being done to find a cure.
Well, because we have that thing called freedom of religion. And many people have interpreted that as meaning you're not allowed to say anything about people's psychoses and their delusions that they define as their religious beliefs.
Right, but with this for the public good health craze, you'd think somebody would be combating Christianity in particular. You know, religion is a mental disorder, but it's the only one that's contagious. Oh, and in the case of radical Islam, it's terminal.
Yeah, well, you know, again, one man's, whatever it is, one man's something is another man's poison. What is that word? What word am I forgetting? I don't know.
I have
no idea
what I'm talking
about. Anyway, Eric, thank you for that. Let's get to James on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Oh, I'm on. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry. Is this Tom right now?
Did you want to talk to Tom?
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Hey, Tom, I'm sorry. How are you? I heard that about the astrotheology thing. Basically, Christianity
about
is
the
nothing
what?
more astrotheology. Basically,
what is that?
It's basically Christianity around... Okay, let me get out. My dad's parking. I'm really sorry about this. Christianity is basically nothing more than a religion based around the stars. December 25th, the reason why you see the Three Kings is actually because of Orion's belt. This is actually research. You can search this up on the Internet.
What does this have to do with what we're we're talking?
Christianity? Basically,
No, we're not talking. The topic is not Christianity. The topic is the psychotic people who say they've found images of Jesus or the Virgin Mary
this is it.
in pancakes, grilled cheese sandwiches, oil spills. What? Jesus Christ. Mr. 16-year-old Bible thumper there used the F word. 1-800-5800-TOM. Sarah on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to comment about this seeing Jesus on the pancake and this. You know, this is nothing new, this phenomena. And, you know, I think the people that see the Jesus on the pancake or whatever, they see a shape, definitely because our brains that's the way they work. They search out, you know, in any kind of pattern or whatever. Their brain searches out something that's recognizable. So I don't think these people are crazy. I think they're just dumb, you know.
Well, dumb and frequently poor and dumb.
Well, yeah.
You know, you don't see people marching to Beverly Hills to look at the Virgin Mary on the side of a Gucci handbag, do you?
No, but I think poverty and, you know, being dumb are linked because, you know...
Poverty, being dumb, and being extreme believers in religion to the point where you believe you're seeing Jesus on a pancake would all go together.
Well, I think, the human brain recognizes a pattern, recognizes things in patterns, but that doesn't mean they're crazy, because everybody does that. You ever looked into a quilt and thought you saw a face in there, because that's how our brain works.
But but here's the difference, okay? Saying that, for example, outside my house, there's, at the house next door, there's a wooden fence.
Mm-hmm.
And it is held together by a series of screws, nuts, and bolts.
Uh-huh.
And there's one point in the fence where the screws, nuts, and bolts make the shape of a face.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the fact that I see that it's the shape of a face doesn't mean anything. You see, just because it looks like something doesn't mean it is something or that it means something. These people go beyond thinking they're seeing Jesus and Mary on the pancake. These people get down on their knees praying to the pancake, okay? These are people who think this has some significance.
Well, I think it's just because they're
That's
gone.
the big difference between seeing something and seeing an ink blotch in your psychiatrist's office and saying, it looks like having sex with your mother, and actually acting on these things because you think they're religious miracles.
Well, yeah, I just think it's a matter of, poverty and
stupidity.
And stupidity and not being
ignorance.
Educated and not understanding that just because you see something doesn't mean that it means something. That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
There we go. Well, I thank you very much for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
When you're in a bad mood, you're just a lot more fun to listen to.
Thank you for that. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Oh, yeah. It's all some morons, in my opinion, of course, in Central Florida. Well, they were making pancakes, and after they sprinkled chocolate powder like cocoa on the pancakes, they claim they saw an image of Jesus and Mary. And then to show their devout religious faith, they got on eBay and they sold it for $338. $338 pancake. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Brian on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Brian.
Okay, I was actually going to call. First of all, long-time listener, I don't know if you've ever read Albert Ellis, but I would suggest anybody, religious or not, read Albert Ellis, because he actually has a few books. He's a famous psychologist who talks specifically about religion being a mental illness. And one of the things I really called to comment on was the fact that you mentioned, and a lot of people don't know that our founders were deists, and that means they believe that there's a God, but there's no connection with the people. I mean, basically, they believe that God created the world and walked away, and that's pretty much it. And that's well written in
right, and that's who founded our country.
Exactly. And most people don't understand that, and they also don't understand that this was pre-Darwin. And I would argue that Thomas Paine, Thomas Jefferson, and all those guys would probably be atheists if Darwin had been around already.
Probably so.
Exactly. And finally, I was going to say, I actually worked for a church for a short time, and they hired me specifically because I was atheist, because they didn't want someone who would mess up their job. And I did some of the work there. And at one point, I suggested that they charge more for some of their materials that they were selling. And I said, well, honestly, I mean, I don't want to offend you, but they're religious. They're probably going to spend more money because they're not that bright. And I thought, oh, my God, I just crossed the line. They actually looked at me and said, you're right. That's a good idea. Just shows you where they're at. Anyways, Tom, take me out Lacey Peterson style.
Oh, that would be tasteless, Brian.
Amber. Hey. Amber. Amber, miss you.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Annie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. How are you doing today?
Great.
First-time caller, long-time listener. Just kind of wanted to put my 2 cents worth in. First of all, about that moronic attorney that called in. You know, I guess she's making it real easy for the defense to win. I'm glad she's not, you know, supporting me there for any kind of case. Secondly, when it comes to, I guess, religiosity or whatever you want to call it, it's all based on psychology. You know, when you sit there, you talk about the poor people, or I guess, i.e., the lesser intelligent people, you know, it's all based on the power of suggestion. You're going to sit there and it's positive reinforcement. Do you see God's face on this pancake? Well, yeah, I do. You know, how many people who have a college degree, who are sitting there working 9 to 5, first of all, have time in their day to even sit there and concern themselves with a pancake, okay? Let alone finding God's face in it. Or
by the way, I might add, you know, there was no photography when Jesus and the Virgin Mary allegedly existed.
Thank you.
So
okay,
how does anybody know what they look like anyway?
Well, according, you know, I was brought up with a Bible thumper mom who, you know, bred me Catholic girl, whole 9 yards, Catholic school for, God, too many years.
You like getting your ass cracked?
Yeah, I did, by many nuns. And, you know, I've got my my revenge sought on several nuns for that one. You know, it does not make a person a stronger or whatever. You know, it just makes them...
Yeah, but now, how about now? Nowadays, do you like getting that done?
Oh, yeah, but that's a different type of it, you know? It just sets the stage for today, yeah.
Absolutely.
Back when I was 9, no, I didn't like getting my ass cracked by a nun.
No, but everyone who got their ass cracked at 9 by the nun, at 19 and 29, they still like getting their ass cracked.
Hey, now, yeah, every now and then I like a light spank. Yeah, there you go. But when it comes... But when it comes to the whole religion thing, you know, exactly, who's to say that this towel, the shroud that Jesus was wrapped in was really his face, okay? There wasn't any proof back then that they can actually bring forward nowadays. I've heard all the rhetoric. I've seen all the crap on TV that's talking about, this is the shroud that Jesus was wrapped in. Prove it. Okay, there's nothing out there. It's supposedly the Torah that they found or whatnot, the sacred book of Judea or whatever they call it. I don't know. I'm Catholic, or was Catholic, brought up. You know, and then there's the other, the cup that he drank from that supposedly was during the Last Supper. Prove it. You know, there's no proof out there. I'm a psych major, graduate, working in my field of psychology, and as far as I'm concerned, being a scientist in me, you got to prove it. You got to have an actual something substantial to show that, hey, this is just...
Word, I'd love to use that word on the air, but we just can't.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, some person's rendition of... So that's pretty much all I wanted to say, that I'm totally a firm believer of what you are setting out there. Thank you for not stressing out about marriage or religion. I love you for it. And if you're ever out here in the OC in Fullerton area, look me up, and love to take you out to dinner, Tom.
Right. And then my palm is wide open.
All right. Very
By
good.
the way,
That's
just for future reference, okay, when you call a radio show, you can call someone a jerk. 2, 3, 4. And you can say somebody's a little bit off.
But you just can't say it.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Do me a favor. Send me out African tribal style.
Here you go, Annie. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Yes.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, my name's Mark. Well, you know that. Anyways, no, I just, I wasn't even going to call in until I heard the thing that you're saying that, religion is like a psychosis. All I have to say is, it's a fact. It's not my opinion. I'm not arguing with you or nothing like that, because you've got your own viewpoints. I understand that. There's no changing your mind one way or the other about it.
Right.
But see, with my experience, and yes, I am religious, but I know he exists because I felt him, and it's something which is kind of sad, you'll never feel
So therefore, you'll never
Because
know.
I'm not psychotic like you.
Well, that's fine. Like I said, it's like I'm probably the most sane person you'll ever know.
Well,
and
says
logical,
you.
that's well, yeah, that's fine. But like I said, I'm not even.
But you believe you have physical contact with fictional beings.
Well, I didn't have. Okay, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. All right. Well, I've been into situations to where I felt totally hopeless. All right. I know God exists. Sometimes I'd ask him for help. Other times I haven't. But if you've ever felt an overwhelming feeling of calm,
I feel it every morning when I wake up.
Right, but not like this. And that's.
No, how do you know how calm I feel?
Because it's not something that I don't think anybody can just feel on their own.
How would you know? How do you know what people can feel?
Well, I know that he exists because I've known he's been there, because I've known that he's helped me out of situations.
You don't know it. You believe it.
No, I know it. I don't.
But you don't know it.
I do know it, and that's
then prove it.
Trying to get. I don't have to prove it.
You can't know anything without provable facts. You believe it.
You know what? The thing about it is that I know it for a fact.
No,
and that's
you don't.
Why I said yes,
no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you
and
don't.
You'll never know it. You'll never know it because you'll never feel it because of the way you are. I know
because of the way
exists.
I am. Yes.
I know the devil exists. I listen to him every day on the radio. Even though I still love you, Tom.
Oh,
I miss
really?
you all the time, man. You're great. But still. No, honestly, Tom, it's a feeling that you just can't describe. Knowing that...
Again, I also believe that psychotic people, insane people, depressed people, they have all kinds of feelings I don't feel.
Right. I'm not well, to you, maybe I am.
And
psychotic.
thank God I don't.
I'm definitely not depressed.
No, you're just psychotic, and that's fine. You can listen to the show, and we're thrilled to have you.
Okay, that's fine too. Yeah, I guess I'm psychotic, but this psychotic will never change his viewpoints on religion.
No one's asking you to change your viewpoint.
Yeah, no, I know that. But the thing about it is that it could go the other way too, and say that atheists are more psychotic than religious people.
Well, you could say that, but I'd be waiting for the proof.
Well, then where's the proof on, the religious people are psychotic as well?
Well, because you believe in all kinds of things that can't be proven.
No, they can be proven. Just
no,
not
they
people
can't.
Like you.
No, they
Because
can't.
They'll never be proven to people like you because
they
people
can't
like you
be
have no
because I demand physical proof.
Well, yeah, but who are you to be asking for physical proof?
I'm as good as anybody else. I'm at least equal to you.
Obviously not enough to be proven that the proof is out there. And
there is no proof. There is no proof.
It's discernible proof is what it is.
No. It's that because you choose to believe this, you have convinced yourself that it exists.
Well, I didn't start out, I started out with faith before it came to fact. I didn't start out just knowing all of a sudden, there has to be a starting place. I didn't just start out thinking that God exists. No.
So what?
But actually, he did prove it to me that he did exist because I believe that he was out there. And
well, you were praying to win lotto and your numbers came up? How did you get this proof?
Yeah, that's it. No. How did I get that proof? It actually was when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
I'm 42 years old now.
Uh-huh.
And he's been in my life more than once.
How did you get the proof?
Well, I'll give you one example of one thing that he's actually done for me. And, I don't really say this.
You just said you had proof. I'm waiting to hear it.
Well, let me explain.
By the way, we have a minute left, so if you're going to keep filibustering here...
Can I talk? Right.
Again, you've got less than a minute left, so stop tap dancing and give me the specific proof.
Well, you just wasted 20 of our minute, 20 seconds.
You're wasting more of it right now because you don't have any proof, and that's why you're killing time with me.
Okay. Well, anyways, it's too late to tell you anyways, but still, no, I do have
There we go. It's too late to tell me anyway. You never had any proof. You don't have any proof. There isn't any proof.
Well, it's proof to me. It's proof enough to me, and that's all.
It's not proof to
anybody
else, and it's certainly not going to be proof to me.
You don't have to have proof to anybody else, just to yourself.
Oh, you don't have to have proof. All right, great. That's what's great about America. You can believe any psychotic BS that you want to believe, and we acknowledge it. We even let you live tax-free, for God's sake. Isn't that fantastic? God bless America.
The Tom Leykis Show.